Guys and gals, Mark Meldrum, Meldrum's Monster Garage, and yeah, we got the 85 Trans Am. She's all done. It's taken me all summer to basically fix this car. I'm gonna take you through that. Now, since this is really put together from month to month, you might hear me repeating myself, and I apologize for that. But here we go. Well, here's my 85 Trans Am. I've had this since 1985. Bought it brand new. And yeah, it's had a couple motors in it. Car's run really strong over the years. Best time I ever had it with it was at the drag strip was 1278, about 103 miles an hour. But I got a dead cylinder. This thing's got AFR heads, 350, BBK throttle body, Excel ignition. But the number 4 piston is only got 90 PSI. Dual exhaust. So it'll start, but it won't idle. So we'll get in it, and I'll show you what I mean. I've been trying to fix this. I've tried to lap the valves, it's in. See if it starts today. Well, you can just hear that dead cylinder right away. Ugh. Guess the head's coming off. Hey, Mark Meldrum, Meldrum's Monster Garage, and we're finally working on the Trans Am. I knew what was wrong with it for the most part, but I just neglect to work on this thing because I can take a Chevelle apart twice as fast than I can take a Trans Am apart because it's so tight. You got all the electronics to deal with, and it's just ugh. These newer cars, I think they're a lot easier to deal with as far as electronics go. But this was the dawn of really good fuel injection, 2-port injections. This engine has a lot of low-end grunt. And it's been a real performer for me over the years. But something just wasn't right. We never could get this motor running right. And, well, this beer's for April. I don't know why the motor won't run right. April and I love this lime garage beer. It's Mike's daughter. Abby's watching on over there. Anyway, got some peanuts, got some garage beer. You know, a little advertisement for them. Maybe they'll sponsor Meldrum's Monster Garage, the Kelsey brothers there. But you can see, I knew I had a problem with the motor, and basically had done some checks on it and found that I had an exhaust valve leaking. What I didn't realize until I got the intake manifold off is that I had 2 bent push rods, and this is on a completely different cylinder than the cylinder I was having an issue with. I was having an issue with cylinder number 4. This is on cylinder number 5. So what looks like happened is I've got roller rockers on there. The locking nut did not lock. It loosened up. And then, of course, these things have a lot more room to rattle around. And they ended up, basically getting out of place and ended up bending it. So I knew I had to take the head off, so I took the whole intake manifold off, and I'll show you that in a second. But now I see some of the more problems. Now, I'll tell you, I built this motor many moons ago, probably 10 years ago. I have learned a heck of a lot over the last 10 years and probably made mistakes on this motor that I shouldn't have made. But now I won't make these same mistakes because I've been putting these motors together with some great success recently. And I kind of feel like I know what the hell I'm doing now. But obviously I didn't then. Anyway, hey, I'm in a good mood tonight. The Guardians are winning 3-0. I am not at the stadium tonight. They are in New York, so I've got the week off till Friday. So that gives me some time to work on this. And as you can see, we got her torn down pretty good. And I've got all the rockers off on the other side, and my plan is to take that head off. So this is no simple task. You got a carbureted unit, piece of cake. Just take off the intake manifold, carburetor comes right with it. To take this off, you got to take all the tune port injection off first. Then you get to the fuel rail, you got to pop that up so you can get at all the intake manifold bolts. So it's a real fiasco, a lot of work, but we're getting there done. My buddy Paul Tanner told me I needed to do this a long time ago, but I was stubborn and didn't do it. You can see I've got AFR heads on here. It's a nice little motor, and we just got to get it running right. All right. I'd love to show you how I do all my little tips and tricks and all the wrenches I use and whatnot. People ask me, how do you get this off? How do you get that off? Well, you just got to have a toolbox. You got to have a lot of tools. And over the years, I've collected some good tools, some Snap-on, some Craftsman, a little bit of everything. And it just takes a little know-how and ingenuity to get this stuff done. So anyway, I'm going back to watch the Yuckies play the Guardians, and let's root for a win tonight because I was very disappointed last night when we lost 3-2. All right, there's the up-and-coming Jones. Man, I'm expecting a lot more out of you, buddy. Let's go. Here we are, day 2 of working on the Trans Am here. This is nothing fancy. This is pure mechanical work. Nothing to make this look pretty. So the next step we're going to cut the head off, and we're going to look at this cylinder wall here really close, but I don't see any cracks or any problems. This was the cylinder I was having a problem with as far as exhaust valve leakage goes. Okay, and I'm also going to take this holder downer off and look at the roller lifters and make sure they all look fine and dandy, including the one that I found that had a bent push rod over there. All right, I've gone ahead and ordered all new push rods for this, and I ordered a hardened style push rod because I am seeing some wear on the sides of this. All right, seeing some wear on the sides of these lifters or push rods. Here's all the parts I had to take apart. And then I've got the cylinder setting over here in leak down mode. And I've gone ahead and I've filled each one of this with mineral spirits. And I've actually blown air up through here to see if I get any air bubbles coming through. And I'm quite surprised that I don't have any leakage on this one. I see a definite discoloration on this valve. So I don't know. We're going to take the valves out, and we're going to lap every one of these back into place to make sure we don't have any issues with anything on these valves. We'll look at them real close. So that's what we're going to do as far as continued inspection goes. I took a nice hard look at this Velcro gasket. These are the expensive ones. These are the nice ones. And I don't see any signs of leakage on these either. These gaskets looked, this gasket looked really nice. So there you go. That's what's going on with the Trans Am here. Man, I haven't driven this car forever. I got to clean up the floor. Of course, a lot of coolant came out when I took the head off, but to be expected. But yeah, that's where we're at. We shall continue on. Sorry I'm not showing you every step of the way here, but this would be just a lot of, I don't know, hard to watch video. I'm just telling you the highlights here. All right, we got the head back on the Trans Am, and as you can see, I've got all the push rods in place. And of course, the feller, as they say in Vipe's Group Garage, I was putting that bolt in there, and of course it tightened it up one ooga booga too tight, and it snapped right in half. So I had to pull that out and weld a nut in there and then pull that out. You've seen us do that on Meldrum's Monster Garage before. But I got all new chrome moly push rods on here. I didn't like the wear I saw on the other push rods. And hopefully I've got the valve over here that was giving me problems. This was the number 4 exhaust valve was giving me issues. So hopefully I've got that lapped into place. I had some fluid sitting on top of the heads upside down for quite a while and didn't get any leakage. But I'm still going to do a leak down check. I'll put the, before I put the intake manifold on, I will put some air to it and make sure we're not leaking. All right, so we continue. Got all these parts over here to put back on. Oh, what a headache. Hey, Mark Meldrum, Meldrum's Monster Garage, back in the OG garage. You notice that we don't have fancy checkered flags in Meldrum's Monster Garage, and I don't know why I have this Northern Ohio Chevelle hat on, because I'm working on a Pontiac Trans Am. About the only thing Chevy about this is the engine, and it's a small block Chevrolet. Originally in this 1985 Trans Am, we had a 305 tune port injection engine, and that was short-lived. Too much nitrous, ended up cracking some cylinder head, and that was bye-bye. And since I had to take cylinder head out, I took the whole motor out, and I remember I had Jack, God, what was his name, at Lacosse's Speedway. He built me, it was back in Elyria. They built me a 355 motor, and I put that in there and ran nitrous on that with a lot of success. Then I changed directions. I was going to try to change the tune port injection over to a ramjet injection, but never had any luck, and just my inexperience at that time, and just never could get that engine running. So yeah, I had the opportunity to buy a 1989 Formula, and had a good motor in it, but and I drove it for a little while, even drag raced it, even drove it up to Milan Dragway and drag raced it. But anyway, that car had a crate tune port injection motor in it, so it was a 350, and that's the basis for this motor. So I pulled it out. I had AFR heads, put the AFR heads on, and I still have the stock tune port injection. I have built many motors since then, and as I take this apart, I see all the things that I tell people not to do that I did on this motor. But anyway, I had a couple dead cylinders on this motor. Turned out to be one of the valves was leaking, exhaust port on the let me see, number 4, and then back here on the number 8, I actually had a bent push rod. So neither one of those cylinders were running good. I could get the car to start, but it barely run. So, and I didn't know what was wrong with it. I tried all sorts of things, and finally I said, okay, let's tear this apart. Once I got the intake manifold off, I saw the problems, and it's been slow from there. I've had a lot of projects over at Mike's and a lot of other things I wanted to do, working down at the stadium. But this week, here in the summertime, the Guardians are out of town, and I've already worked a few days over at Mike's, so I thought I'd take the rest of the week and try to get this car back together. I know my son Joshua will be super happy about that. One thing I wanted to make sure of was, I took the head off on the other side, I lapped the valve, got that all sealed up. And I know you're not supposed to do, see how much compression you have or how much PSI you have on each cylinder cold, but I want to make sure that this thing was building compression. So I went around and checked the compression on every cylinder, and we are good to go. So got the exhaust header put on the other side today, and now we're going to put the intake manifold back on. I know a lot of you guys out there have been asking me to work on this 3rd gen, so here I am. A lot of guys, I mean one, so thanks a lot. But been trying to get inspired today, watching Vice Grip Garage and Freiberger and Dulcich and all those guys. They do all sorts of crazy things, but I think I'm coming down the home stretch on this, but it takes forever to put the fuel injection back together, and you got to take it all apart to get the intake manifold off, because the way they design the runners is they block the intake manifold bolts. So way to go, Chevrolet engineers of the 80s. You did a great job there. You did build a nice little motor. This thing has all sorts of torque at the low end. It kind of runs out of gas at the high end though. The most RPM you're going to get out of this thing is 52 to 5,500 RPM, which, it's good enough. I just want to get this thing on the road and start enjoying it again. I've owned this car since it was brand new, so why not and start enjoying it? Who knows? Maybe my grandson will drive this in another 11 years or so. That would be totally fantastic. So anyway, I bullshitted enough. Let me get back to getting this thing back together. Serenity now, serenity now. You guys remember that from Seinfeld? Some Felpro gaskets along with the ultra black gasket maker from Loctite. Make sure you get a good bead down there. I don't like to use those gaskets anymore. I've seen enough of them get sucked into the inside of the engine there. So, and over here on the intake manifold, we got everything cleaned up and ready to put on. So I think I'll wipe it off one more time with a cloth and then get her on there. So we got the intake manifold on there with the Felpro gaskets, torqued all the intake manifold bolts to 25 foot-pounds, went around twice to make sure we got it all, and yeah, we should be set to go. Watching Derek up there in Vice Grip Garage to get inspiration. He's working on a Chevy 352. Cool. So we got through this thing, and then once I got the new spark plugs in it, I tell you, it really livened it up, and it quit missing. I think I had a few spark plug wires that were just not pushed on all the way, and now it's running fantastic. I did have to get out my big honking manual. Look at this, and this is on the 1985 Trans Am. Of course, you got a big system on how to troubleshooting codes on all the computer. Now this is what they call OBD1. So it's not fancy schmancy like now. I can take my truck, I can connect my iPad up to a reader on my truck and basically look at, oh my God, so many different parameters. But with OBD1, it's kind of different. Basically, you have to short out two wires together under the dash where the connector, the OBD1 connector, would be hooked up to an actual computer. But what we're doing is we're shorting out two of the pins, and then we count how many times the check engine light flashes. So the first thing that's going to happen is it's going to flash 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. So it's giving you code 12, all right? And it shows it to you 3 times. That says, hey, the computer's working okay. Let's see if we got any other issues. And then the other codes will start popping up. And I had a couple issues pop up at different times. One of them was code 25, which was the manifold air temperature sensor. Turned out not to be plugged in correctly. And then the other code that kept popping up was the throttle position sensor, which, I mean, I had that whole thing apart and back together, kind of made sense. And I had to do a slight adjustment on the voltage by turning the throttle position sensor just a little bit. And then, hey, things were fine and dandy. So, all right, let's give the car a start up, and I'll show you the interior on this thing. It's really 80s. So here's how you get the codes out of the computer. You're gonna not gonna start the car up, just gonna turn it on. You'll hear the fan come on, and here's the flashing I was talking about. So there's 1, 1, 2. Now it's gonna go 1, 1, 2. I think I missed the first one. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So this is a code 22. 2 flashes, 3 times. And then if it goes back to 1, 1, 2, like that, that's the only code we have. So let's look up 22. So if we go to the book and we look up code 22, throttle position sensor signal voltage low. So it gives us some diagnostics to do, and we'll check that out. All right, we're trying a new camera mount today, and we're checking the voltage on this throttle position sensor. And if you hear the dogs barking, yeah, mom just came in the driveway, so they're going crazy. But here is the throttle position sensor, and I'm checking the voltage across the top 2 wires. And I've had to do this a lot in the past. That's why I've got a couple bare wires there. I just tape them up when I'm not done. But I've got the ignition on. We're going to check the voltage here. And it looks like it's 0.556. All right, so that's within spec. Let me go read the spec here. The spec is, looking in the book behind you, is 0.55 plus or minus 0.05. So I'm not sure why we got low voltage. We'll start it up and we'll try it again. All right, we'll go for a little test drive here. Feels pretty good. Gets right up to 55, no problem. I gotta get some gas for this thing. It's getting to be empty. Check engine lights off. I think it was just a loose connection is basically what I was dealing with. And hopefully this will be okay. Patty brought home meatball sub from Dave's Cosmic Subs. Was pretty darn good. Oh, by the way, I think it's shifting better now. I made an adjustment on the TV cable, and it just thought about that as I was driving down here. See how it goes going down this road. Woo, right into the sun. Man, oh man, it's that sun bright. All right, yeah, it's shifting a lot better. Before it was kind of short shifting. And yeah. Coming up here to the high school.
Got a nice little S curve. Always like going around this curve, especially in the Trans Am, because it handles so well. It's got WS6 suspension, which was the performance suspension for this car in 1985, and many years as far as that goes. Has a little symbol inside the car. It says performance suspension. Very cool. So I am going to head up to the gas station, and hopefully I got my wallet. Yeah, I got my wallet. Little meatball sub just came down. Woo! It's tough going into the sun here. It's pretty early yet. The sun's going down quicker now. I think it needs to idle down a little bit more though. Still idling kind of high in my opinion. Got a little traffic here. Pop it down into first gear. See how she takes off. Very nice acceleration. That was a nice 0 to 60. Got a little bit of a chirp. I didn't go all the way into it, but most of the way. And like I say, she's driving along pretty nice. I don't think I've had fresh gas in this thing for at least 5 years. So it won't hurt to get some gas. So I'm going to pull into Sunoco here and get some gas. All right, she was thirsty. 13.7 gallons, and I think it's only a 15-gallon tank. So yeah, get her up on the highway now and see if she can do 70 miles an hour. Once again, this car hasn't been driven in a long time. It's always a fun on-ramp here. Big winding road here. Switch this around so you can take a look where we're going. This way in this car in a long time. Brakes are still working good. Everybody's saying do a burnout. Well, the cops are around here, so I'm not gonna go crazy. All right, we're back in the driveway, but let's just see if she screeches the tire a little bit. Oh yeah. Had to get right back on the brake if you this car's gonna be fun. Hey, Breaker 19, this is the White Rider, and we can confirm that the car does do a burnout now. Over now. We used to have these CBs because of the Trans Am Club, and one of the guys in the Trans Am Club, God, he was into CBs, and that's how we talked to each other when we were driving around. So it was a lot of fun. It had a lot of cool stuff with that Trans Am Club. All right, let's give her a little. Make sure the belt doesn't squeak. Yeah, she sounds good. Well, there's your proof positive. I'm sure George will be asking, does it do a burnout? Yes, it does.